Let's play pretend. You're in the dark ocean, 80 feet down, and there's a perfect mandala in the sand. 6, 7 feet across, radial ridges, valleys, a weird maze in the middle. Seashell confetti like the ocean tried to throw itself a wedding. No humans live down here. No tourists. No Instagram. Sorry. And this thing took more than a week to build. Welcome to the love life of the white-spotted pufferfish. And also, accidentally, your podcast. Welcome back to Your Mic. My name is Freddy Cruz. And there's this little fish off the coast of Japan. He's like 3 to 5 inches long, barely the size of our hands, right? But when it's time to impress a mate, he goes full Banksy with fins. For 7 to 9 days straight, he's flapping his little body along the seafloor and carves this huge circle about 2 meters wide with precise mountains and grooves on the outer ring and this messy, beautiful maze pattern in the center. Then he decorates it with shells and little coral bits because apparently even fish know details matter. If a female likes the architecture, she drops into the center, lays her eggs, and he guards them until they hatch. If she doesn't, tough. All that work becomes underwater dust. He doesn't reuse the circle. Instead, he builds a new one. Here's the part that should mess with your head. Divers didn't start seeing these sand circles until recently, like 20th century recently. Imagine how long the planet has been around, all the hundreds of thousands of years of human history, and we just last century discovered these things, the circles. Everyone's like, what is this, aliens? A secret military test? Poseidon's Etch-a-Sketch? Nobody knew who or what was making them. In fact, it took until like 2013 for researchers to finally catch the pufferfish in the act and realize, oh, this little white-spotted pufferfish is working his ass off. Cool. So for years, centuries, this little fishy was down there quietly making the most elaborate thirst traps in the ocean while humans treated them like X-Files B-roll. Tell me that doesn't feel like podcasting. You sit there, obsessing over your show format. You re-record the same intro 6 times because take 3 had better energy, but take 5 had the cleaner mic. Been there, done that, especially back in my radio days. You spend an hour hunting for a clean pull quote from your guest, then 40 minutes trying to write a description that doesn't sound like ChatGPT on NyQuil. 7 to 9 days for one circle, one episode. And then you finally hit publish and boom! 4 downloads. 2 of them are probably you checking the feed. I've been there and still am there sometimes. I've got a very niche show. It's a podcast about podcasting, for crying out loud. And the algorithm, it does not send flowers. Trust me. But here's the question. Are you okay with being the pufferfish? Because that fish is not building for clout. He's not thinking, yo, I hope the Discovery Channel finds this and David Attenborough calls me nature's greatest artist, even though, yes, David actually did say that about the pufferfish. He builds the circle because that's what he does. That is his identity when it's mating season. I am the thing that makes art in the sand, or I don't exist. You as a podcaster have been sold this idea that preparation is a growth hack. Do this kind of research and you'll land bigger guests. Script this way and your retention graph will suddenly look like a plateau instead of a ski slope. Learn these 5 hooks and you too can be the Mr. Beast of B2B. Nope. Preparation is not a gimmick. It's the circle you carve that most people will never see you carving. Think about the pufferfish. He does not know if any female is going to swim by this week. He does not know that some diver with an underwater camera is going to finally give him credit instead of underwater aliens. He just moves sand. Outward, inward, ridges, valleys, center maze, shells, repeat. You are in the same place. You don't know if the episode you're outlining at 11:45 on a Tuesday night is the one that finally lands in the ears of the exact person who changes your life. You don't know if the series you're planning right now is going to be archived in somebody's top 10 podcast that saved my career blog post 5 years from now. You're just here. Well, there, technically, moving sand. And I can hear the pushback already. Freddy, if nobody's listening, why bother going that hard? Why not just wing it and find my voice? All right. Okay, fine. Try this thought experiment, though. Imagine the divers notice perfect symmetrical circles in the sand, and then next to them, weird half circles that look like a Roomba got drunk and gave up. Who are you respecting more, the artist or the quitter? Well, I can tell you, your listeners are going to feel the same way. They can't always articulate it, but they can feel the difference between a host who preps, sharpens, cuts fluff, sets stakes, and a host who shows up like, yeah, let's just chat and see where it goes. One is a mating circle, the other is just sand. So what does this look like in practice? Let's land this in your world. Pick one ridge, one detail in your process you will obsess over for 7 to 9 days. Maybe it's your intros. You script, punch up, and rehearse them until they actually sound like a human with an opinion. Maybe it's your questions. You research your next guest so deeply, you know which story they told on 3 other shows, and you deliberately do not ask about it. Maybe it's your sound. You finally stop recording next to the leaf blower and learn how to get clean gain staging so you don't sound like a hostage on a conference call. You're not doing this because this will make me go viral. No. You're doing it because you are the kind of creator who leaves mandalas in the dark when nobody is watching. And when later the right people finally connect the art to the artist, they should feel a little guilty they didn't notice you sooner. So here's your challenge for the week. Be a pufferfish. Decide what your circle is. The thing you're making that almost no one will ever see you make, and commit to 7 to 9 days of unreasonable effort there. No shortcuts. No good enough. Because the ocean doesn't clap. And the algorithm certainly doesn't clap either. But when the right listener finds your circle, they're going to know exactly what kind of animal made it. If you know another podcast host who needs to hear this, please share, because Mom always said sharing is caring. So do it. Don't be stingy. Thanks for listening.